Hey everyone, welcome to my video. As you can tell by the title, today I am going to be showing you my fashion design art portfolio that helped me get into the top design universities, including Pratt, SAIC, and my dream school, Parsons. I also did apply to FIT, but I haven't heard from them yet, so I can't say that I got in yet. So if you're going to be applying to art or design school, most of them will require you to include an art portfolio, depending on your major. But they'll do so through the site Slide Room, and so that's where I submitted all my portfolios, and I am going to show you how my Slide Room activity looks like. I did tailor each portfolio to the specific school and what they were looking for. For Pratt, it has 19 items, by far the most in any portfolio, and a big reason is because they did ask me to submit 3 to 5 still life drawings, so those are down here. For SAIC, it has 13 items. My Parsons portfolio, including my Parsons challenge over here, is where I did the mood board and then the mix and match looks, as well as the fashion design sketches, and then I just included some of my garments. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys my Parsons portfolio, and I'm going to put everything up on this side. My first piece in this portfolio is my tulle flower dress, which I named Youthful. When you're submitting your pieces, there's a spot for you to write the title, media, and then additional details. Alright, so for this piece, I said it was inspired by the carefree times when I used to play dress up when I was a little girl. I had no worries on my mind, and I wanted to freeze those memories of my childhood days, which are depicted by the flowers enclosed in the tulle. My next piece is a tulle ribbon skirt, which I titled Beneath the Surface. This piece was sort of a commentary piece, I guess, on society and the topics that it has deemed as taboo. So for the description, I wrote that this tulle skirt features ribbons that are written with normal issues that society has made into taboos and problems that people don't but should and need to talk about. For example, disability, sexual assault, gun violence, etc. The next piece is titled Guardian of My Heart, and it's more of a, it's more it's more of like an art statement piece than it is a wearable dress. So I made this around March, April of my junior year. I was just going through this time of like super high stress and worry and anxiety, and making this dress reminded me to stay strong and keep in mind that I am protected and cared for by a higher power. So this dress is made using a nude canvas muslin type of fabric in order to depict vulnerability and sort of represent like the skin and body. The flames on the bottom are painted on using acrylic textile paint, and they represent worldly problems or hell trying to engulf me like flames. And then the shield over my heart, I wrote, represents my faith and how it keeps me grounded through times of trouble. And it is covered with my favorite passages concerning the heart and protection of it and just not needing to be anxious. I actually do wish that I could wear some of my pieces out sometimes, but most of them are like impractical and it just would be kind of weird, I guess. Okay, moving on. Next piece is one of my few pieces that don't really have much meaning to them. It's just I just included it to show like the skills I have in making a blouse and like adding buttons, and yeah, so this one is just a snowflake blouse, not much to it. Next piece is also pretty plain. It's just a purple dress, a formal purple dress that features box pleats at the skirt and then an adjustable top. Since the straps are super long, you can tie the top in like a multitude of ways. Next thing I included to switch it up from just like garments and dresses is a mini backpack that I made using canvas and trim. The flowers on the front zipper as well as the Chinese character on the side pocket are hand embroidered, so I wanted to show that I can do embroidery. So the next thing on my portfolio is a qipao, which is a traditional Chinese dress, and I have mine here with me. I just think that the silhouette of them are so beautiful and they look so classy, and so I wanted to try making one of my own also. I made this from a pattern that I had to adjust so it would fit on my body, which was kind of difficult, but I eventually got it, and even though it doesn't fit me perfectly, I still think it looks really nice. So my next piece is a hat, and it is titled More Than an A. This piece is another one that kind of comments on society, but this time about our education system. So this is a large brim hat that I made using muslin fabric, and then I covered the outside of it with report cards that I ripped up. Anyways, for the inside of the hat, I covered with this super shiny gold crepe fabric, and I'll just read my details. So what I wrote for this was, our education system puts a lot of weight on test scores and GPAs to determine how intelligent students are and neglects all other more important aspects of a person. So I made this piece in the form of a hat to show that critique, because especially with the large brim, because I wanted the brim to cover the wearer's appearance and have the emphasis on the grades and the report cards on top in order to show how those grades start to become the identity of that person instead of, who they actually are. So for the inside, covered with gold, it is to represent the golden personality of a person and the amazing qualities within them if you look past all the superficial things on the exterior. The reason why I decided to use my actual report cards is because, at the end of the day, they're just letters. They don't determine who I really am as a person, and by ripping them up, it just lets me take my power back over them, I guess. Next piece, it is a fashion brochure, and I titled it In Harmony. So this is the inside of a brochure that I made during my fashion illustration class that I was taking, I think, last spring semester at my local community college. But it features 2 looks that are inspired by koi fish, and then in the middle are just the flats for them. So the final piece in my portfolio is my Parsons challenge. Basically, the Parsons challenge is the same every single year, and what you do is you choose a piece from your portfolio and use that as inspiration to make a new piece that follows the same theme or relates to the first piece. So the piece that I picked from my portfolio is the tulle ribbon skirt. And the new piece I made is a mixed media sort of piece. It has wire sculptures, collaging, and like face design makeup, as well as digital photo editing. So the first picture that I included in my Parsons challenge is my sketchbook page, and because so many of my pieces are based on personal experiences or feelings or thoughts, I brainstormed questions to ask myself about like how I would feel if I was to speak out about certain topics on the ribbons of the tulle skirt. My big question was, what happens when someone tries to speak out? How would they feel? And then I just kind of thought back to how I would get like voices in my head telling me certain things when I want to speak out about certain things, and how I would overthink before I speak, asking myself like, should I say this? How would it affect other people? How would they see me? And then those questions were what led me to make the wire brain and wire hand sculpture that I put around my neck, because it shows how like my brain and the thoughts inside my brain connect directly with my words and what I want to say. So if the thoughts in my head are suffocating, then it leads to the arm around my neck suffocating me physically and not allowing me to say what I really want to say. So the second picture is a collage that shows the wire brain and hand sculpture, as well as the close-up of the thoughts in my head, and also the magazine clippings on my face. The last picture is the final edit of my piece. It is 2 photographs that I put together, basically representing 2 sides to a person. So there are 2 sides to me. So one is like trying to break free with her mouth slightly open and like trying to say what she really feels, while the other is, you know, like shaking her head and in distress and trying to get things under control. Also for the Parsons challenge, you do have to include a essay of 500 words to describe your whole thought process and your final piece. That is it for my art portfolio. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this video helps some of you guys out. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can write them down below, and my Instagram is in the description bar. Thank you!